Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to welcome you guys to another installment of my series. Hopefully, everything goes well today. And on a side note, I just want to ask, for those watching, anyways, who's gonna go see Avengers tonight? I mean, I understand some of you might have already seen it on the internet, but the premiere is tonight for most of us. So I just want to know, like comment down below if you're gonna go watch it, who your favorite Avenger is. Figured I'd get the audience interacting. Right, excuse me on that. Alright, now let's get started today and look for our first opponent. Hopefully it all goes well. I do want to apologize as my voice is a bit raspy today. I woke up feeling a bit sick, but let's hope it goes well. Alright, as our first opponent is Rando Mayan. And I'm just going to go out on a whim and say it's a Mega Venusaur, because that looks like the best fit for that team. Might be a Choice Scarf Chandelure, most likely. I'm going to assume that either Greninja or Bisharp is sashed. Okay, so my best opening for him would honestly be my own Gengar, because if Greninja is Life Orbed or any of these guys, they can't essentially one-shot me, so I could easily get off a Shadow Ball or a Sludge Bomb if needed. Second Pokemon to open with. Now, I notice he can't really hit my Heatran too hard, except Greninja might actually have Low Kick, which could be a problem, which should actually one-shot this Heatran, given that if I had Life Orb. So, I'm feeling... Granted that Greninja's speed is probably a hard thing for my team. You know what? I'm leaning towards the Suicune because I feel that Suicune is probably the strongest option right now against this team, except for the Venusaur, but I should be able to counter that with switch-ins and other things. Alright, so let's get the Suicune in there. And next, let's see. I really want to take Virizion, and then I don't. Well, Virizian's only counter is to the Heatran, so in that case I should just take Mawile, since he'll hit anything Virizion pretty much can hit a bit more effectively. Leaving my last slot, which will most likely go to the Heatran if I can take care... Well, by then I should be able to take care of the Greninja. Alright, now let's get started with today's battle and hope it all goes well. Alright, Gengar Tyranitar opening for my opponent. Very interesting. Alright, so what do I expect immediately would be a Rock Slide or a Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution into a Rock Slide. It could also be a Choice Scarf Tyranitar, so let's not even rule that out either. Maybe Chandelure isn't Scarfed. Tyranitar could also be the Scarf. So what I'm actually going to do is, since it's a Speed type at the Gengar, I'm actually going to Will-O-Wisp the Tyranitar, because if I can Wisp it, I feel like I'd get a real advantage. And I'm actually... No, never mind. I'm actually going to Shadow Ball the Gengar, seeing as it may not even be sashed. And I'm actually going to Scald Tyranitar and fish for a burn that way. And then later turns, if I don't get KO'd, oh, trick. Give me a Choice Scarf. Nice, but there goes his Gengar. And Scald should have a chance to burn. Maybe it'll burn, and we get the burn. Alright, so that was all, but it's Lumberry. That is new. And here comes... Did I miss the Wisp? Oh, yeah, no, my bad. Sorry, I lost train of thought there. Alright, so with that down, I now have a Choice Scarf Suicune with speed at approximately 150, so it would gain 52 since Pokemon rounds down, so 157 speed. Not bad. Which means I could actually Wisp the Tyranitar this turn, or still, you know what, I'm gonna just rescald it. And I'm actually going to Wisp the Venusaur and burn it, since I am locked in a Scald here. For the most part, though, this should be plenty to handle the battle. He could protect the Tyranitar, but he doesn't want... Yeah, it is a Mega Venusaur, and the Wisp burns the Venusaur perfectly, and the Scald burns it, gets Tyranitar, doesn't burn. Alright, he misses the Leech Seed, fortunately, but the Crunch does quite a bit of damage, but it shouldn't do too much, seeing as Suicune is a pretty bulky Pokemon. And it looks like we're gonna approach possible... soon enough it'll be in a solid KO range for any of my Pokemon with the Tyranitar. I'm not too worried about the Venusaur, seeing as I got Mawile and Heatran in the back. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to Shadow Ball the Venusaur, try to get a special attack drop, and Scald the Tyranitar again, because why not? I outspeed it. And as he switches out into Greninja, so this would break any sash Greninja has. And if I can get a burn, no burn. And he gets the Giga Drain off, so I should die this turn. but I feel rather confident facing off against the Greninja. And in case it is offensive Greninja, I am switching in Mawile. By switching in Mawile, I can intimidate it, so I doubt it's a special attacking Greninja at the moment. Looking because of the team composition, that way Greninja can get like rock slides off and things and other such things. So I actually, if the Venusaur has no speed investment, I outspeed Venusaur, which is really important. So what I'm actually gonna do is I should focus. I'm once again though I'm still not too worried about that Venusaur because of my team. So I'm actually gonna Icy Wind. Should I or no? I'm just gonna re-Sludge Ball, and I'm just gonna Mega Evolve. And Sucker Punch won't KO Greninja from this range. So I'm just gonna protect with Mawile and see what happens. My point being is I need to get Greninja to change his type so that Sucker Punch will KO. Oh, as it is a special attacking Greninja, keeping his dark typing very smart. But now that I know it's a special attacking Greninja, I feel safer because Heatran actually gets a special defense buff in the Sandstorm because he is actually Steel type. So what I could do here is I feel in a Heat Wave plus the Sucker Punch should KO the Greninja. It might also be a mixed Greninja, so I gotta be wary of that. And I feel like I still have a chance of losing if... Oh, that was close. Yeah, so while that still KOs, and... Ooh, I'm in some trouble now. And Venusaur gets the seed off. This could be a problem, but the burn will help like supplement that, and this Mawile does not have a lot of HP. That's another plus. I'd also might still be able to outspeed Tyranitar if it doesn't have too much speed investment. It might just be a bulky Tyranitar. I doubt it has speed, so I could take it out. I could take either or out. So I'm more worried about the Tyranitar, but I could also take out the Venusaur. And if Tyranitar has Earthquake, it might one-shot me, but there's still spread damage. So I'm going to target the Tyranitar anyways with an Iron Head. Being that, Play Rough can miss at any time. And let's just hope for the best. I can see the Venusaur protecting. I can see Tyranitar protecting, but yeah, Venusaur protects. I should outspeed Tyranitar thanks to my full speed Mawile. So that is proving very effective. And as I should lock up the battle because an Iron Head should KO from this range. And let's just hope for the best. I mean, I doubt Iron Head can miss. So you never know. Hey, crazier things have happened in Pokemon. One time, I was against the Tailwind, no speed. I outsped, and the Pokemon shouldn't have outsped. So I feel like sometimes there's like a glitch in the game where that'll happen too. I mean, I know some of us have had those moments where like there's no way that should have happened. Like I've had Charizard survive Rock Slide without any investment. So you just never know what can happen in a game we love playing. But for the most part, I feel like we have the win. As I talked into the microphone, forgot to click the attack. And he fails to double protect. Here comes the Iron Head, and that is game. And GG to my opponent. Alright, now let's go look for another battle today, which would be our second installment for today, and let's hope it goes well. Alright, as Javi BM the best, with a more standard looking team. Alright, Charizard Landorus is what I see right away. You got the Hydreigon is really scary. Breloom, the Thundurus, and the Aegislash. Alright, I don't have too many ways to deal with a lot of these. So, I need to find a smarter way to get through. I really want to take Heatran because I feel like Heatran walls the Charizard. He can hit the Thundurus and the Aegislash very well. My only issue is this core right here. This is the core of Thundurus, Breloom, and Hydreigon can all hit Heatran very hard. Hydreigon having Earth Power, the Mach Punch on the Breloom, and the Earthquake, obviously, from the Landorus. So I'm actually going to open out with Gengar to try and slow and burn anything down. And I'm feeling that if I send out Virizion, I can get quick outspeeds if he sends out the Charizard or the Hydreigon, get a close combat off, and ignore the Spores. I am bringing Heatran for safety precautions because I feel like he can hit most of the team very hard in case. Well, I'm double thinking that now, actually. I really want to bring Mawile, but other than Hydreigon, he can't hit anything else too hard. So I'm bringing... I am opting in. I would opt also. It's just he has got such a great counter to my team. I also want to opt in the Suicune. But I feel like the first two are so good, but the next four are hard because he hits everything else super effective on my team. I am going to bring Thundurus to paralyze anything. I've just decided on that move so far. He can Rock Slide me, but I can take about 2 or 3 of those. Now the last slot needs to go to a Pokemon that'll be able to handle himself at this point. And I feel like my best option still is a Suicune. Suicune feels to be the most effective here because he can Ice Beam most of these and take a hit. But Heatran is also once again a viable option, and you know what? I'm gonna take Heatran just for its offensive. I am not bringing the Mawile this time. Sometimes you don't need to bring your Mega. As he opens Charizard and Thundurus. Alright, so right off the bat, we got solid matchups. I'm actually going to Icy Wind, and I feel like that Charizard is going to protect. So here's an issue. I am probably going to protect off my own so that I can get an Icy Wind off, and my Avaricious does not get Thunder Wave from the Thundurus. This Charizard Mega Evolves, but does not protect. Oh, it does protect. Most people don't usually Mega Evolve on the turn they protect, as Gengar is paralyzed, but I'm actually going to Sludge Bomb the Thundurus and Stone Edge Charizard. Try and score a KO here. Maybe my opponent knows I have Stone Edge, maybe he doesn't. Let's hope it goes well here and he doesn't switch out. If he doesn't switch out, I got a really good chance to knock out that Charizard. As he does switch out into Hydreigon and Thunder Waves my Virizion. Oh, and I'm paralyzed. Double Parahax. That's the game we live by. I'm just gonna Icy Wind and actually close combat, seeing as I don't feel Hydreigon can knock me out from this range. Let's hope for the best. He goes for the Dark Pulse, but I am sashed. So maybe he didn't target me. Yeah, I double target into Gengar. But if I can get the close combat off, and I'm paralyzed once again. Ooh, what a game we play by, you know. Virizion can actually score a KO on both of these pokes. No questions about it. I just have to figure out what exactly to do or how to do it. I'm actually going to Thunder Wave Hydreigon and Stone Edge the Thundurus because it should KO from this range. I need to start scoring KOs. Virizion being paralyzed is not helping me out at all, as he goes for the Draco Meteor and the Thundurus, but I survive, as expected. And he goes for the Hidden Power Ice. Does not do much, seeing as Virizion is a special defense tank. But I could see Charizard coming out in the near future. Charizard or Landorus coming out. Maybe he's got the Breloom. If he did not bring the Landorus, I am in a very good position to still win. So I am hoping he did not bring Landorus, but odds are he brought Landorus against this team. But the beauty is Hydreigon cannot KO me from, well, might actually still be able to since it is Life Orb, but it is paralyzed, so at the moment as he brings out the Charizard. Alright. Now, I'm actually going to Thunder Wave the Charizard, kind of as like a sacrificing my Thundurus. But the Charizard might also protect, but I don't think it will, but I gotta play safe, so I'm also gonna protect. He might actually switch out, yeah, and there's the Breloom. Not too worried about that. As I get the Thunder Wave off, which is great. And Charizard gets paralyzed, so Parahax of my own. My opponent cannot complain about this. I am actually going to taunt the Breloom to avoid any Spore, or you know what? I'm actually going to Thunder Wave Breloom as well. Paralyzing my opponent's entire team will be great. So I'm actually going to go for a Stone Edge on a Charizard, seeing as Breloom can't really paralyze me as he switches out back into Hydreigon. Yeah, I could have read into that move. Bullet Seed, okay, like 4 of those should KO, and my opponent only gets 3 as I am paralyzed. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to HP Ice to break that sash. And I am going to close combat the Hydreigon slot. But now that I think about it, Mach Punch might KO from that range. So it is still a problem. And let's hope I can score this win. Yeah, the Mach Punch KOs me. And this is horrible because, well, he's going to oh, and he's paralyzed. Oh, thank you, Parahax. Alright, now what to do from this range is it's going to be a hard choice. Heat Wave will KO. But I need to start doing damage to this Hydreigon, and I am very worried. Heat Wave should do plenty of damage to both. I need to start scoring damage, like I said. I'm HP Icing Hydreigon, Mach Punch doing quite a bit of damage. And I don't know how much I can do, but if he's paralyzed, I got a chance. It looks like I might lose this battle as he gets the Air Power off, and unfortunately that might be game. My only other option is if Charizard gets paralyzed like 30 turns in a row, and that might not even happen. So he's got no reason not to double attack, but I'm still going to HP Ice Hydreigon for luck, and If I can score a pair of hacks with Charizard, I might just win this. I doubt it though, as he gets off the Heat Wave. And my opponent gets another win. Alright. So congratulations to my opponent. Good game. And I'm going to go search for one more opponent, seeing as these battles appear to be pretty fast paced. Alright, now let's look for one more battle, as I feel like I need to redeem myself just a little bit for losing. There's nothing wrong with losing. The game is what it is. But let's continue on. This is actually pretty fun, you know. I love battling a lot. And I feel like you guys love battling to an extent. Like, a lot of people enjoy battling, like the competitive aspect, but I also see that there's a lot of people in online communities that don't battle often. They only collect or trade or just play the game for what it is. Alright, interesting team here. Very similar to a team I've been seeing online for a bit. The hidden gem here is actually that Clefairy with its ability Friend Guard, which drops damage on all your opponent. So this might actually not even be a Charizard Y. It might be a Charizard X, given that this is a Friend Guard Clefairy holding Eviolite. The rest of the team is pretty scary, but I'm still going to open out with Gengar to hit everything rather effectively, as Gengar actually hits everything on this team pretty well and pretty solid. With Gengar, I'm actually bringing Suicune this time. I always go to Suicune as my second lead open, because you pick your openings, but you never know what can be there. So I'm actually going to go Gengar, and you know what, it looks like my next best option is still going to be Ooh, this is a hard one. You know what, I'm gonna go a little bit ballsy, and I'm actually gonna open Gengar Mawile. Reason being, I want to hit everything I can as hard as I can as soon as possible. I know he has quick counters to my Mawile, but I feel like with Icy Wind support, Will-O-Wisp, I should be able to avoid anything, and it is a rather aggressive opening. I usually do not open this way, but I feel like I want to play a bit aggressive. And in the back, I will have the Thundurus. Seeing as he's got a Suicune and a Breloom, I could easily go around those with Thundurus. And for my last slot, I will be bringing the Suicune. And let's hope how it goes. Let's hope and see how it goes, my bad. Alright, as he opens with Suicune and Hitmontop. Alright, not a bad opening at all. Now, I do not carry Taunt on this Gengar, so Suicune will most likely going to Tailwind this turn. So I'm actually going to Will-O-Wisp this Pokemon, and I'm actually going to Protect with Mawile. And hoping Suicune doesn't attack, but most likely it's going to Tailwind this turn to give his whole team a speed buff. Alright, and Mawile gets to Protect off. Yeah, the Fake Out going into the Mawile slot. Will-O-Wisp connects, and thankfully connects, and there's a Tailwind as I thought so. Alright, now I'm actually going to Sludge Bomb the Suicune, trying to get the poison, because most of the time that Sludge Bomb does poison your opponent, seeing as it has a 30% chance to poison, which is really big. It's also kind of like Scald. Scald has a 30% chance to burn, so they're really, really effective moves. I believe Lava Plume and Discharge also have 30% chances to burn or paralyze. He goes for the Feint and the Scald, trying to fish for a burn. Does he get it? My opponent does not get the burn. This Play Rough should KO Carlton, as it misses. Carlton. Just noticing that myself. So I am going to go for the Play Rough once again, because I do not fear losing Mawile in this matchup, seeing as Mawile does not match up to too much any better, as he goes for the Snarl to lower Gengar's special attack. But unfortunately, close combat should not KO. And with the defense drop, I'm almost guaranteed to score a KO, and ooh, Citrus Berry Suicune. So yeah, should score the KO. And hopefully the rest of the battle does not go too bad in my favor. From what I'm seeing, though, it might be a runaway battle for my opponent as Trogdor, the Charizard, comes in. Now, I'm going to sacrifice... Yeah, he did not bring Clefairy in this match. Very obvious, he did not bring Clefairy. So, his last Pokemon might easily be Excadrill or Breloom. Most likely Excadrill with that Mold Breaker. Breloom would also be a viable option, sporing Pokemon in the late game. I'm just going to go for an Icy Wind here, and I'm actually going to switch out my Charizard into my Suicune. And let's see if it's Charizard X or Y. It's actually Charizard Y, which seems rather random to me, as he scalds my own Suicune, and I get the icy wind off, slowing it down, which should be good news for me. Alright, and the opposing team's tailwind has petered out, so that means this turn I am faster than both of them. And actually, my Suicune now outspeeds his Suicune. So I can safely Sludge Bomb, and I'm going to go for a tailwind of my own. Now, this is the disadvantage to not having taunts on this Gengar, but a taunting Gengar would have been actually rather effective to an extent, as he goes for the Solar Beam, not KOing my Suicune, and my Suicune gets the tailwind off. He goes for a Snarl, trying to weaken both of ours, but I feel like it's a little too late to be snarling, as Gengar should still outspeed plenty. I'm still going to go for another Sludge Bomb here, and I'm actually going to go for a Scald onto Charizard. No reason not to, and he could also, yeah, Charizard protects, and Gengar gets a Sludge Bomb off. Does it poison? Does not. And Suicune goes for a tailwind of his own, but I should be outspeeding this turn due to all the support I have. I'm actually going to double up in a Charizard this turn, hoping for some moderate damage. I just want to put it into Sucker Punch KO range. It's already in Thunderbolt KO range for Thundurus. So hopefully it goes well. And it goes for another Solar Beam. Apparently Suicune did not outspeed Charizard. Well, it was intended to. As wow, a single target Snarl actually KOs. And here comes these two. I was just trying to put Charizard in the Sucker Punch KO range. It actually is in Sucker Punch KO range. So, assuming it's not bulky, I should be fine. So I'm going to Thunderbolt Suicune. And I'm going to Sucker Punch the Charizard. And let's hope that switch from earlier paid off, as I do KO Charizard. So that was enough. And I pick up the KO on Boreas the Suicune. And it looks like this match might finally be in my favor, as my Tailwind peters out, but my opponent still has his Tailwind. That is very important to notice, seeing as I can mess it up very easily. And if it is Excadrill, I don't have to. Oh, as it's Breloom. Alright. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to paralyze the Breloom and protect with Mawile, because I can't have Mawile go down, and if I paralyze the Breloom, I actually slow it down to where Mawile can KO it. It could be a Scarf Breloom, but most likely Focus Sash. It goes for the Mach Punch as predicted, and that attack happens. Alright, now the issue is he might go for a Mach Punch again, but I'm actually going to HP Ice and Sucker Punch, because with the Sucker Punch HP Ice, I should be able to KO the Breloom this turn, as Sucker Punch connects, and yeah, he should be in HP Ice KO range, and good game to my opponent. Alright, so that was a better second battle, and I feel like I redeemed myself a little for the loss. I'm not a fan of losing. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in today, and it was a fun set of battles. I really enjoyed today's sets. It shows that, sometimes your play calls don't go right, sometimes they'll go wrong, but hey, fun battles overall. And as you can see, sometimes it pays to predict. So thank you to everyone, and I will be hopefully seeing you guys tomorrow. It is a rather busy week for me. I got a festival tonight to go to, as also the Avengers premiere. Alright, well, thank you everyone. See you guys tomorrow.